Alright, so we have a quick profile. I'm not gonna take all day with this. So we have three swap. Three swap is self-explanatory. You know what it does. Standard ratio. 2 Ronin. 2 dupe. Ronin dupe, self-explanatory. We have the double backjack. Dope normal summon. Normal summon it, go into Link Rebo. There's not really much to explain. You normal summon it, go into Link Rebo. We go into Link Rebo. It lets you stack your deck. That's it. It lets you stack your deck. On top of stacking your deck, it lets you set your trap if that's what you stacked, which you're obviously gonna stack. So yeah, explains itself. That's it. Like that's your only monster lineup. So that's it for the monster package. Another thing you can do is the normal summon this like going second. You can normal summon it, make anima, activate anima to steal. That's a play. So you have the three swap, 2 Ronin, 2 dupe, 2 backjack, the one spell, the only spell in the deck, the reasoning. Obviously it's just so you can mill your deck. That's literally it. Reasoning, mill your deck. You get a free special summon out of it. If you don't, whatever goes to grave, you still plus. I was playing Card of Demise, but it was hurting me. Just because of the no special summoning, it was hurting me. The Reckless Greed, play 3. 3 Reckless, draw 2. Pot of Greed, you plus it triggers your Paleo, so why not? I've had a lot of games. This is your dumping portion, like traps. This is like this deck access. Needlebug Nest, dump the top 5 to the graveyard. Get Paleos in grave, rise to full height in grave, and other stuff like that. Really good card. Don't want to see it too much, so two is perfect. Crackdown could easily just be it's something that your Paleos can react off to. On top of the Paleos being able to react off to, Crackdown is an interruption. Take opponent's monster. It could help for like your opponent normal summons Alistair, activate, take their Alistair. They can't really do anything versus like versus that matchup, or like Drytron, they normal the Diviner, you just take it, trigger your Paleo, stuff like that. So yeah, we have this is the interruption portion. That's like deck access. This is interruption. Lost one. I play triple lost one just because it's recurable. They use lost one, negate something, trigger Paleo. They special summon, set it again, and you can lost one again. And if you have like two lost ones in the grave off the Needlebug Nest, it's not once per turn, so you can trigger both and have both set on a turn and use them both on your following turn to extend. This is kind of an extender, low key. It's kind of an extender. We have the compulsory normal trap interruption for your opponent. Get combo pieces off the board on important pieces or like extra deck monsters. Obviously not Dragoon, but other stuff. Other Link monsters, just get them off board. Put it back in hand, and it triggers your Paleos. So double that. 2 Imperm. I actually would cut Imperm from 2 and put it to 3, maybe. Yeah, I'd play 3. I'd maximize on Imperm, but I had moments where 2 was just enough. I play 2, but I think I'd maximize this on 3. I might put a third one in. I'd recommend it. Just you could do 3 Imperm. For the next interruption would be the Ice Dragon's Prison. I play 2. Don't really need 3. You play that. This is basically the Dragoon out. You try to bait the Dragoon gate as best as possible, and then fire off Ice Dragon's Prison, and then chain your Paleo. Get a free body as well as a banish. Not even that. Sometimes just having the extra bodies, you can use them for like link summons or XZ summons if they're like levels right. Use them for XZ summons, link summons, or rise to full height targets. Like let's say certain situations, you can use Ice Dragon's Prison to revive something, and instead of banishing, keep the revive and use rise to full height on what you brought back, as well as bringing back the Paleo with the chaining it to the prison to bring back a Paleo. So it's on your Paleo is unaffected by monster effects, and they can't even attack it because you Ice Dragon Prison. So you'd rise on the Ice Dragon Prison target. That came out horrible, but yeah. I think that's all for the interruption. Yeah, that's all for the interruption portion, and then the Paleos, the ratios. Right now I'm playing 3 Book of Moon just because it interrupts your opponent. versus Eldritch. This came up quite a few times, and just other matchups. This has come up. It's I like Canadia, so I maximize on 3 Canadia. So your triple Book of Moon, triple Foolish Barrel Goods. I dump Rise to full height just to have immediate access to it. The deck is really centered around Rise. It's like that's the best way to play it right now. Is like Rise to full height is the best way to play the deck right now. So I try to maximize seeing my Rise. So Morella is perfect. If I don't Needlebug nest it, Morella is instant access to it. Sometimes I don't even care about the Reckless Greed. So I'll Reckless Greed first. It gets ashed, and then I'll just Morella because I don't want the Morella to be ashed. So yeah, that is that. Play triple Morella, triple Canadia, and then I play the 1 MST. Um, I was playing it 1 and 2 on and off. Just I guess the matchups I faced maybe do this at 2, but just I don't know. I play 1, but you could play 2. 2 is decent. You could do it. I just play 1 MST. It's self-explanatory. Destroys a spell trap on field. That's it. Comes up to reverse like Mystic Mind and stuff like that. So 2 could be decent, but from my matches, what I played, 1 is fine. Skipped ahead a little bit. 2. How do I explain it? I played 2 of this Paleo. I only played 2 of this Paleo just because I only have 1 lean. And I think I'd play lean at 2 or 3. So just because I have 1 lean, I play 2 of this. But I would cut this down to 1 maybe. I cut it down to 1. Like, it comes up in certain matchups. Now, I'm not going to lie. It comes up in certain matchups because your 2400 Paleo XZs, you can use this so it can attack over things. But sometimes you don't even need to. But 1 or 2 is fine. It is depending on your playstyle and the matchups you face. 1 lean for right now. Only reason I'm playing 1 is because I have a playset coming in the mail of, not a playset. I have 2 coming in the mail. I'm sorry. I have 2 coming in the mail of OTS Super. So I only had 1 of this, so I was just playing with 1 for right now. But I would try to maximize this at 2. But 1 is fine. But at 2 or 3, it's so much better because you can retrieve back your frogs from the banish. On top of that, like for Ronin Totem, you banish a frog, use this, bring the frog back, get rid of Ronin Totem. Like if you make an Xyz with it and just use it again, or if you have 2 Ronin Totem engraved, not even that. You're just looping Rise to full height over and over again. It's great. It's great. It's like Rise to full height is low key the deck's 1 condition. I have 1 Phantom Knights of Lost Embrace. 2 is fine. You could play 2. I was playing 2 for a while. I just cut it down to 1. It's a decent card. Target Ace came up. The attack modifications came up versus Outlage. Basically target something on the field, lose 600 attack. Also, if that target's still on the face up on the field for that turn, Phantom Knights you control can't be destroyed by attacks. So basically, you target a card that you know, not like a Paleo, that you know is not leaving. You put this, and then this can't be destroyed by attacks, and then you just Rise to full height on this. So they can attack this over and over, but that's the only thing they can attack, and it won't be destroyed by battle. So you play 1. You can play 1 or 2. Either is up to you. And then the triple proxy is Rise to full height. I currently don't own this card. I have a playset coming in the mail, so I've been playing online with proxies. Nobody's mine so far. Played on duel simulators with it a while, but actually like remote duel and like locals and everything, I've been proxying. Nobody's really said anything because it's a cheap card. It's like 20 cents. I have it coming in the mail. Rise to full height is your whole win condition, literally. Because you want this card engraved. Sometimes you'll use it on field just to trigger a Paleo, get it engraved, banish, and then make your Paleo the only thing that can be attacked. Normally, I won't even do that. I'll put it on like Totally Awesome, or like I just put it on something like Totally Awesome. I put it on Lost Van Embrace, or I just put it on something I'll see like Link Karibo. Like if I normal backjack, go into Link Karibo, activate backjack to stack my deck, and then activate this on my opponent's turn on Link Karibo. So when they attack Link Karibo, I distribute it, and now they can't even attack. And what they did attack with a 0. So yeah, that's that. Now moving on to the extra deck. I'm not doing the side deck, so moving on to the extra. Obviously, the Link Rebo. Obviously. Too early. Obviously, the 1 Link Rebo. Normal backjack. Make this. When you get rid of this, you have another backjack later. Activate effect engrave. Put backjack back engrave. Trigger backjack again. You only need 1 Link Rebo because you'll just cycle this 1 2 times. Because you only have 2 level 1s. So you'll cycle it over and over. twice, so you only need one Linkuriboh. Cool card. Anima. Anima's for going second. Anima's for going second. If there's a monster in the zone, you could just easily normal backjack and then anima take the target. It's an interruption. It's decent. It's cuttable. The card is very cuttable. I would cut this for a second copy of Downerd. We're getting in Downerd later, but I'd cut this for a second copy of Downerd or a third, totally. Nightmare Unicorn, cause I skipped one, but Nightmare Unicorn just cause it's interruption. Obviously interruption. Link 3 interruption. I don't even have to explain what the card does. You guys know what Unicorn does by now. IP Masquerena. You can use your Xyz that don't have any more material. You can use a monster you crack down from your opponent. You can use the frogs. You can use the frogs like if you need a frog engrave. Like you have it on field and you have Ronin, you need a frog engrave. IP and something else, especially for later games, because the deck is a grind deck. It's not like something that OTK is like very easy. Like you want to grind, so for grind games, this is like perfect option. So yeah, IP into Unicorn is awesome. BLS, I don't know if you guys can see, is the Black Luster. So actually, it doesn't matter because I have it pulled up. Black Luster Soldier Link, Link 3, very cool card. It's not much to explain. Attack, destroy, banish a card, or attack, destroy, gain attack. Can be targeted or destroyed if it's made with level 7 or higher. You don't have a level 7 or higher in deck, but normally you do get the level 7 or higher just from Crackdown. That's another reason why I play Crackdown and why I put it in. Just because doing that or doing Ice Dragon's Prison gives you the level 7. So, yeah. And for the last of the links, access code, obviously. Sometimes I'll catch myself using the BLS for link fodder for access code, so it gains to 3000. It's come up in some games. Access code, obviously your game ender finishes the game. Not much to say on that. So yeah, that's it for the link portion. For the Xyz portion, I just do 2 Opabania. Opabania is dope. That's like the first. Normally how people play it is they'll go totally awesome, and that's your win condition. But really, you don't want to go into totally awesome. You go into Opabania just to grab your extenders. Realistically, just to grab your extenders turn after turn, so it helps you grind. So I'll try like turn 1 go for Opabania instead of Toad, just because it's untouchable anyways. Because you rise, if you rise something else like rise a steel or like rise a Paleo on field, apart from Opabania, this is just safe. It's safe. So I play double Opabania, single of the Trident. I call it Trident because it's a pop. Once per turn, quick effect pop, detach pop. Another thing I like about it is they both let you use Paleo traps from hand. And when you use when you use a trap, activate any trap on field while he's on the field. You can excavate top of your deck. If it's a trap, you can add it to your hand. So I like that a lot, that you can just add a trap to your hand, especially when the deck is mostly traps, like majority of traps. It's come up so much times. I'll activate a trap on res, activate his effect, get another trap. It's just free pluses, especially with Reckless Greed. You're not drawing, but this is giving you draws. Essentially, it's giving you draws. So that with Reckless is dope. Double totally awesome. I would play this at 3. The negate comes up, but sometimes it really doesn't. A lot of times I catch myself making Toad, negating something. Oh, by the way, the set off Toad is another way your Black Luster gets to level 7 or higher for its material, because it's set off Toad, because on your turn you just flip it. And then yeah. Apart from that, I catch myself using Toad and then tributing Toad itself as cost, just to recycle back, because once it runs out of material, I'll try to use it for Link Summon, use these for Zeus. Once they run out of material, use them for Zeus or Link Summon or something like that. And use Toad, Grave Effect, to recycle back like the Opabania, or recycle back this to use them over and over. So if I was to play a third Toad, it would just be for recycle and not for the negate. I have the one of Sky Cavalry, just the Dragoon out, or like just monsters that are just too oppressive. You will just make Sky Cavalry, attack it, can't be destroyed by battle. Main phase 2, go into Downerd. And then off the Downerd, go into Zeus. 4 material Zeus. Simple. Downard, main phase 2, put it on top of any. See, what the thing about Downard is it can go on top of your like if your totally runs out of material and you have another one on field, with you could Downard it, but normally it'll be these two. Once they run out of material, they're kind of dead. So I'll just attack with any other XZs or this, put Downard on top of it, and then put Zeus and whiteboard just to get this engraved. Just to get this or this engraved, just for later on Toad to just recycle it, you know? Make Toad negate something, recycle it, and now just have the Paleo bodies to just remake, you know? And I play double Zeus because it's Zeus. When you have, alright, so your once per turn pop is unaffected by monster effects, your Opabania is unaffected by monster effects, all your Paleo traps are unaffected by monster effects. So when you Zeus whiteboard, you're only wiping your opponent's board and you're not wiping yours. Your board is safe. Normally you don't really want set traps. By the time Zeus is on the field, you won't have set traps. And if you do, they're in your hand or anything. So you could Zeus first. After you make it, main phase 2 Zeus first and then set stuff. And then try to trigger those before you use Zeus. So you can get the Paleo effects. So you get all the bodies so you can Zeus again. And yeah. Some people play one Zeus. I strongly don't recommend it because in certain games you'll get in a situation where you have to Zeus early. You have to Zeus early or you lose. Like you have to make Toad attack, Zeus, or you just lose. And then if you do that, you don't have the secondary Zeus for later. So I play 2 Zeus. It's come up. And that is it. That is all.